2 years ago, Bafana Bafana, the dream ended there as far as Bafana Bafana was concerned. A lot of people probably thought Pitso Mosiame, it's over. He hasn't been able to do it at the national team. He didn't win it with SuperSport United. And then you get the Mamelodi Sundowns job.
You know, I was hurt. You know, I took a lot of stick. Like, at one stage, I felt like, do I still believe that I can coach? And I looked at my 7 years back at SuperSport and the legacy that I've left. And I said, okay, let me take a break and I'll bounce off. And when I left Bafana, Ethiopia beat South Africa. And we even had a second chance, we couldn't qualify. So how can we lose against Ethiopia? I drew, you know, but it's okay. You know, I'm South African, once a Bafana, always a Bafana. That issue is, national issues are bigger than a decision taken. The president of Sundowns came and he said, Coach, look, man, he said, rock bottom, can we save this team? And I was not sure. I don't know if I was ready, you know, because I was 6 months into this thing. I had other offers, also from PSL, but I said, no, I'm not going to come. And what made me do that is that I could not leave this sleeping giant at the bottom of the log.
I can't let you have the trophy, because officially it will be presented to you and Mamelodi Sundowns on Saturday. Congratulations, but can you defend it?
It's okay with the sardines, but you must catch the biggest fish. So the big fish is here.
When you look at your time in Europe, I mean, you left South Africa, went to Spurs, what, 2011?
Yeah.
They spent nearly, what, 20 million rand on you?
Yeah.
Some might say that's not what we saw in our minds when he left South Africa.
English football is up there. I think personally is the best league in the world. And they just said, you know, but, you know, they will work with me, they will help me, and that's exactly what they did. You know, I've been tested in many ways, in terms of, not just in terms of my talent or my ability, but in terms of my personality and character as well. Because the European game is a lot more complex than it looks. I mean, it looks incredible on television, but when you're in it, and the training, the intensity of the training, I mean, the amount of games that you play, it's unbelievable. And the quality, I mean, you can't, you know, you will get found out. You can't cut corners.
Final issue now. Bongani, will you come back to South Africa?
The thing is, you know, going to Europe, you must remember, going to Europe, I went there with the aim of playing at the highest level and becoming the best I can possibly be.
But you won league titles here. I've seen you kissing trophies here.
That's true. That's true, and I want to go and do that somewhere else. You know, I think it's important to remain motivated. And to be honest with you, I mean, after the World Cup, after winning 3 leagues in a row, it's like, what else is there really? You know, you've played at every great arena, you've played at the highest level in the World Cup in your own home country. I mean, what gives you that edge, that excitement? And that's why I want to stay in Europe, because as much as I may move around, it's exciting, it's new, I'm learning, I'm growing as a person and as a player.
Well, you know, it's not every day that we see the double being done. I mean, everyone talks about it in soccer. Paul Adams has done it with his Nashua Mobile Cab Cobra's fantastic feat there. But I'd like maybe to go like and show your bowling action, because there are South Africans today who may not have ever seen you play. You gave up so quickly, you stopped playing after such a short time. Says, there is Paul Adams at his absolute best. And this was so early in your career, on debut, in fact, against England. No one had seen this before. They didn't know what this was.
Yeah, it all came naturally to me. I know some people back in the day used to make fun of it. How did I get the action? I told them I grew up in Grassy Park. I used to steal hubcaps of moving cars. So it was something crazy. But whenever a ball got put in my hand, that was the natural action that came out. And when you harness it and when you work on it, it can become a weapon.
More importantly, because we're talking about 20 years of freedom, you were, at this stage, the player of colour. How did that feel?
If I look back, as an 18-year-old, I was just coming out of school, a kid loving the game, wanting to just play and have fun with it, and all of a sudden, I was in positions. I just didn't come out of nowhere. I was playing under 19, played Western Province under 19, played South African under 19B, and I think I was at the right place at the right time as well. And when opportunities came by, I made sure I was ready, from a bowling perspective, from a mental perspective, and also from just wanting to prove exactly what what I stood for. And I think as a 18-year-old to be able to do that was quite tough, and to go out in the big arena. Never played in front of big crowds before. I only saw myself first time on TV when my brother took his video camera when I was 16 to show me what sort of action I bowled. But I think it's just through time and my sheer passion and drive and what I wanted really at any stage just grew for it.